Good evening, and welcome to the Galloway Township Board of Education on this October 26, 2015. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Avery? Mr. Carmen?
Here.
Mr. Days?
Here.
Mrs. Evanson?
Here.
Mr. Greb?
Here.
Mr. Iannacone?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mrs. Cordero? Here. Mr. Hubbard?
Here. This time I'd ask everyone to rise for the flag salute led by Mr. John Moore.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In accordance with Public Law 231, notice of this meeting was provided to the press occurring in the Galloway Township Municipal Building on January 10, 2015. No minutes to approve this evening, so let's move right to communications, please.
Thank you, President Hubbard. Good evening, everyone. We have two items of communications this evening. The first item is a letter of resignation from board member David Carmen. And the second item is a letter from Commissioner Hespy advising us that the Atlantic City Community Charter School did receive approval to include Galloway Township as a region of residence.
Thank you. Presentations, please.
Yes, we do have several presentations this evening. I do not see our student council rep, so I will skip over that, and if he arrives, we will introduce him. But the next one, President Hubbard, I think is for yourself and myself to recognize Mr. Carmen for his service to our board over the past 3 years.
Yeah, you have to stand up, Dave. I think everybody can hear me. By word and by deed, your presence has enriched the lives of the students and served as an example to all. To honor your service as a member of the Galloway Township Board of Education, we do hereby honor you, David Carmen, tonight. Dave, on behalf of the members of the Board of Education, the citizens of Galloway, we'd like to honor you with this crystal book, school book that is, and thank you for all your time that you have given to us here at Galloway. Okay, you want to make it more? Don't let it be short. Another short. Thank you.
Yes, we have another presentation this evening. I think maybe in the spring. New Jersey School Boards Association put out an application for what they call School Leader Awards, and it really looks for special kinds of projects that are done in school districts. So I reached out to some of our teachers who really are the leads for the Mr. B's Backyard project, and they took the time to complete and submit the application, and I'm very pleased to announce that the project was acknowledged as an honorable mention. And for those of you who visited, have been to Mr. B's Backyard, especially on the Nature Fest, you know what a wonderful outdoor classroom this is. So we'd like to call them forward, and they are welcome if they want to tell us any more about this. We have from the middle school, Mrs. Debbie Summers. We have from Reed's Road School, Mrs. Kathy Warren. And also from Reed's Road, Mr. Gregory. And Mrs. Summers actually has a plaque that was sent to the school district.
They picked one as a winner, and we were one of 3 honorable mentions. So it wasn't like there was first, second, third. It was one award, and then we were recognized along with them. So that was a great honor. I would also really like to thank the Board of Education, Annette Giacinto, our principals, Paula Junker, Bill Saparo, and Robin Moore, and to the Ed Foundation, who has helped fund our program every year. We use that to replenish supplies, and it's a wonderful program. If you read the kids' blogs on Mr. B's website, you'll see the value of the program. Sometimes you think you're not reaching some of the kids, but when they write about their experiences out there, it's amazing. I call it our little oasis. It is so full of wildlife in that little spot, and the kids just love it and love their experience out there. So I really appreciate your support for our program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming back.
It's a great place. All 3 of my kids have had the fortune of sitting at that table, and you guys are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, every board member ought to try to get there to see that, because Beverly and I have been there before, and Todd, and I'm sure there are others. It's really a great project. Keep the applications coming, and we'll keep the money flowing between the Ed Foundation.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you again. And now for the next presentation. It is a CUSAC year. So we would like to share with you where we are with the CUSAC process, and there's also a resolution on the board agenda related to this. Just to remind you, NJCUSAC, what it stands for, and this is the version of monitoring conducted by the State Department of Education. And to remind everyone, there are 2 instruments that are part of the CUSAC process. One instrument is called a District Performance Review, or DPR. We have to complete a self-assessment every 3 years, and you can see the 5 major areas that are included in the DPR. In addition to that, there's a statement of assurance. We actually have to do this every year in the same 5 areas. And in the year like this year, where it's the full review, the results from this year's SOA are put into the DPR, and I will try to use full words whenever possible. So it really is 2 main instruments that are provided to the district, and again, this is a self-assessment at this stage in the process. So a committee has to be formed. In a moment, we'll show you the members of our district's committee, and the DPRs and SOA are reviewed first with the administrators, and then they look at them with the various committee members. And the first work is done by different administrators leading areas. Obviously, Mrs. Anaya leads the finance area. Mr. Bruffy leads the personnel area, and so forth and so on. Then what happens is they start to look at the items and look at what evidence exists that says we are fulfilling the requirement, and there are quite a few requirements in each area. This year what we did, we met both in small groups. So for example, I see Mr. Himmon is here, and actually sitting next to one of the subcommittee members who worked with Mr. Bruffy, but each set of leads had at least one committee member that they worked with, and they did some mock work. So the committee member might act as if they were the DOE member. They would look at the evidence, they might spot check for different documents. We then pulled the entire committee together and went through every point and item on the statement of assurance, on the district performance review, to determine whether or not we had earned in our self-assessment and with the documentation we had available, the points. There are some areas where the points are not decided by us, and they tend to fall, will not surprise you, in the area of state testing. And that is where the Department of Ed tells us how many points we have or have not earned. I should also say that every school has two types of facilities checklists. And Steve Boley, although he does not come and sit with the entire committee, Steve takes the responsibility for going through each and every building, a preliminary round and then a second round, and then he shares those results with Mrs. Anaya and then ultimately submits them to me. Here are the folks, I thought they were all in a column, in our district. You can see this first list are the administrators who took a lead in one or more areas. And then the DOE does require that you have certain representation. You have to have a teacher. You have to have representation of the associations. You have to have a board member. We actually took it a step further and had a member of our district advisory team participate in the self-assessment as well. So here are the results. I will tell you, these results are very similar to the last time we did this. We do what we're supposed to. So I'm going to go from the bottom up. When you look at personnel, and that looks at, are we hiring people with the proper certification? Are we doing the proper background checks and things of that nature to make sure that the folks who work here are fully certified, do meet highly qualified teacher requirements, that we are doing all the proper steps in the hiring process. Operations covers any number of areas. When you see that, you might think of buildings, but a lot of it is operations in terms of state mandates. Are we doing the proper training for staff in areas such as suicide prevention, child abuse? Are we following the rules for the anti-bullying legislation, otherwise known as HIB, and a lot of things in that area? Governance is very much focused on board policies, how the board operates. Does the board fulfill its requirements as related to those policies, as well as in terms of, for example, the superintendent's contract and the evaluation of the superintendent? Fiscal management looks at all aspects of how we run the business side of things, and certainly some things come from the audit, some things come from internal practices. And then finally, instruction and program. And you might look at that and think, that's the lowest score. In terms of following all the policies, having updated curriculum, having the way lesson plans are done, and all those internal things, in our self-assessment, we earned every point. And the last two times the DOE has come in, we have earned every point. Where we have lost points is, while we meet some of the criteria that the state has set in terms of test results, we did not meet them all. I will tell you on the very positive side, every one of these scores meets what is known as high performing. It needs to be an 80 or above. So these are the results, and this is the key phrase here, of our self-assessment. So what happens next? Tonight, after we give you the opportunity to ask any questions or make any comments, there is a resolution where you are giving Mrs. Anaya and myself permission with President Hubbard's signature on the document to submit this electronically to the state. The county is doing an orientation, I have to go this Friday afternoon, and what will happen is they will look at the submissions we made, and they will determine, are they going to do an on-site visit in all 5 categories or only certain areas? And that is a change in the process. In the past, they automatically had to do all 5 areas. If you were high performing in every area in the prior review, they do not have to come and do everything. So the possibility does exist that they will only come in and monitor certain areas. This is new to the county office and to the state, so it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I will learn more about those next steps on Friday. Once the county does come in, and whether they're reviewing our self-assessment just electronically or the things they visit in person, they then submit to the state, and ultimately the state level, up through the commissioner, has to approve the final results. Mrs. Anaya and I will be happy to answer any questions or respond to any comments. Any? No? Thank you. I'm sorry, Bishop, thank you. I'm trying to get, keep getting the wrong thing.
Thank you, Dr. Chief. Ms. Beverly, how was the process when you served on as a board representative?
I got very well. All right, I was on the committee with Mr. Atkins under the direction of Mr. Bruffy. And we dealt with personnel on that one. I have to say, you know that Dan Smith, who's also a neighbor of mine, is a former educator also. It is so nice being on this side of the desk and being a support person and see a process go through so thoroughly, all right? I mean, obviously, everybody did their homework, all right, and were prepared, and it was a pleasure, okay? And I'm very proud that we're going to be probably high performing in all the areas. It still has to be approved by the state. So I've done this before, but I have to say, I really feel this was the best year. So thank you for asking me.
Thank you. Board members have any other questions? Any public comment? Thank you. Okay, superintendent's report, please.
Thank you. Item 1 is the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report for the reporting period from September 23rd through October 21st. And that is not action, that is just a report to you this evening. And item 2 is a resolution to approve submission of the NJQ's District Performance Review and Statement of Assurance to the New Jersey Department of Education.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve item number 2 on the superintendent's report, please?
So moved.
Take more discussion? Any public comment? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Gregg?
Yes.
Mr. Iannacone? Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes. Curriculum and instruction, please.
Yes, thank you. Item 1 is a resolution to approve home instruction for the following students. Each of the student numbers is listed, as is the name of the school they attend and the details regarding the need for home instruction. Resolution 2 is to approve Galloway Township Middle School URSA students to attend the National College Fair in Atlantic City. The transportation costs are covered by an Education Foundation grant.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2 under curriculum instruction, please? Thank you, Mr. Any board discussion? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Davies? Mr. Davies? Roll call. Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Gregg?
Yes.
Mr. Iannicke? Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Himmel, is this our student council?
Yes.
Wonderful. This is our student council vice president, Durwood Pinkett. Durwood, welcome to the meeting. How are you?
Good.
Good. We're glad you're here to join us. Mr. Hubbard?
Well, that's Mr. Day's next to you. I showed you how to operate our microphones. Welcome aboard. If you want to be recognized, sometimes you might have to nudge Mr. Days there because I may not see you inside there. You're free to speak in our meetings, but you have to be recognized by myself, okay? The first thing I'll do is I'll ask you what's going on with student council. So now you're free to speak. Okay.
At the moment, we are doing a food drive for Thanksgiving, and we're going to go to this Veterans Day ceremony on Veterans Day.
Okay. Good. That's great. Now, do you run your meetings the way we run our meetings here?
Yes, we follow it's called Robert's
Robert's
Rules of Order.
Correct. That's great. And so do we. So again, you'll have to be noticed or recognized before you can speak, and we follow the same thing. So if I don't always see you, you can always hit Mr. Days and nudge him. And okay? That's great. All right. Let's move to finance and school operations, please.
Yes, I'll turn the agenda over to Mrs. Anaya.
The first resolution is to accept the food service reports as listed for the month of September. The second resolution is to accept the investments reports for the month of September in accordance with policy 3290. The third resolution is to accept the board secretary's monthly certification of budgetary line item status as of September 30th. The fourth resolution is to approve the review of the secretary's monthly financials. To the best of our knowledge, no major account or fund has been overexpended. The fifth resolution is to approve the cash and secretary's report for the month of September. The sixth resolution is to approve the October's bill list as attached. Resolution 7 is to establish petty cash accounts with our maximum expenditures as well as the custodian of the account listed. The eighth resolution is to approve a contract between Galloway Township Public Schools and Gateway for the 11 preschool students at a cost of $76.99 per student, paid for by the preschool expansion grant account listed. Resolution 9 is to approve the tuition receivable students for the 15-16 school year in compliance with the following authorities. Home district is listed as well as the tuition receivable. The 10th resolution is to approve Ruth Ann Handley supplemental instruction at Champion Baptist Public School from October 27th through June 30th at $35 an hour, paid for by Chapter 192, 193 funding. The 11th resolution is to approve a case manager, Joanne Popeson, to conduct non-public evaluations from September to June at an hourly rate of $57.47 with the account listed for Chapter 193 and IDEA non-public funding. Resolution 12 is to approve the transportation contracts with Greg Reg as listed below. These are all routes are estimated at 180 days unless marked, with the activity routes with possible days for the year.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 1 through 12 inclusive under finance and school operations?
So moved.
Thank you. Ms. Nor, your finance meeting?
Yes, we certainly did. We're missing a member tonight, but we had a full agenda and we had a preliminary review of the audit for this year. The state and their incident insanity again, and that new requirement that we won't be able to accept the public presentation of the audit until November or December. Question is that 2015 or 16? Hopefully it's 2015, but anyway, we went over a lot of the items in the audit, had a number of discussions. We also talked about some other issues, transportation maps, we're going to update those, an update on the business office operations. We reviewed the September financial report, and I'm again happy to report that cash equals to cash. Making that happen. And everything is in balance. We had very few questions on the October bill list, and we had, I don't think we had any questions on the agenda items. So it was a very productive meeting, we got a lot done.
Thank you. Rich, do you need to add anything?
John said it all.
Thank you. I do have a question on item number 7, Challenger. Petty cash funds, do they get regularly audited on any interval or?
Yes, there is a specific state-specific audit procedure when the auditors come to look at petty cash.
How about you? Do you go in at any time of the year and count?
The schools all have funds. I personally wouldn't be doing that, I haven't done it yet. The custodial maintenance department has the largest, and that would be done regularly and just twice a year. I know between Kelly, the accountant, and the accounts payable clerk, when they do their reimbursements, they look at the receipts thoroughly. But as a business administrator, we'll be looking at periodically.
Okay. That's good. Any other questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Iannicum?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
I must abstain on line item number 6 of the bill list, page 4, PO 600504, page 20, PO number 605413, that's my details.
Thank you. Mrs. Evanson? Mr. Brett?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hunger?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Facilities, please.
We have no items this evening.
Thank you. Community use of school facilities, please.
The one item is just an informational item about middle school dances.
Thank you. Personnel, please.
Thank you. Resolution 1 is to accept with regret the letter of intent to retire from Susan Blicker, school nurse at Smithville Elementary School, effective July 1st, 2016. Mrs. Blicker has worked in the Galloway Township Public School District for 24 years, and her dedication and service to students and staff are appreciated by our entire school family.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve item number 1 under personnel, please?
Second.
Thank you. Any board discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
A replacement nurse, would that have to be a certified nurse or just an RN?
It has to be someone with a school nurse certificate, which is not even the same as someone with a bachelor's degree.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question. Any other board? Any public comment? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Iannicum? Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson? Mr. Brett?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Item 2 is a resolution to accept with regret the letter of intent to retire from Helene Gentili, school nurse at Pomona Preschool, effective July 1st, 2016. Mrs. Gentili has worked in the Galloway Township Public School District also for 24 years, and her dedication and service to our students and staff are appreciated by our entire school family.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve item number 2 under personnel, please?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Any more discussion? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery? Yes. Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Gregg?
Yes.
Mr. Iannicone?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubkey?
Yes.
Item 3 is a resolution to accept a letter of resignation from Deborah Adams, food service worker at GTMS effective November 5th, 2015. Resolution 4 is to approve the extension of the leave request for Tracy Rinlow, teacher at Reeds Road Elementary School. The terms and conditions and dates are listed. Resolution 5 is to approve the leave request for Karen Gill, teacher at Smithville Elementary School. The dates and terms and conditions are listed. Resolution 6 is to approve the leave request for Carm Chantel Michelle, food service worker at Arthur Rand Elementary School. And again, the terms and conditions and dates are listed. Resolution 7 is to approve adjustments to the salary guide in accordance with the negotiated agreement. Staff members' names are listed on an attachment, and this is based on changes in their earned degree and credit status. Resolution 8 is to approve Paige Levy as a teacher of the deaf at Arthur Rand Elementary School for the 2015-16 school year effective November 2nd, 2015 through June 30, 2016. The salary step, other details including the account are listed. Resolution 9 is to approve the following part-time intervention certificated staff to be paid through Title I allocated funds. As I noted in the bulletin, these people were previously hired, but it is a requirement under federal Title I guidelines that we do a resolution to show that that is how they are being made. Resolution 10 is to approve Elijah Costa as an educational interpreter at Arthur Rand Elementary School for the 2015-16 school year, effective October 26, 2015 through June 30, 2016. Again, the salary level, terms and conditions are listed. Resolution 11 is to approve Yvelsnis Kajusti, I apologize, I have to meet her and learn how to say her name properly, as a part-time food service worker at Port Republic School District. This is our shared service agreement for the 2015-16 school year, effective October 27th through June 30th. The dates and hourly rates are listed. Resolution 12 is to approve the following substitute teachers who meet New Jersey Department of Ed English Language Arts highly qualified teacher requirements. The daily rate and account are listed, as are the names of the individuals and the dates that they will be working in this English Language Arts, in these English Language Arts positions. Resolution 13 is to approve the following substitute teachers for the 2015-16 school year. This is effective October 22nd through June 30, pending successful completion of the criminal history review. The various accounts are listed, as is the name of each individual, whether or not the person is certified, and the daily rate. Resolution 14 is to approve the following substitute food service workers for the 2015-16 school year, effective October 27th through June 30. The hourly rate and account are listed. Under supplemental positions, Resolution 15 is to approve a team leader at Roland Rogers Elementary School for the 15-16 school year. That should be effective October 21st. The first meeting this staff member attended was last week, through June 30th. The annual stipend, which will be prorated and account number, are listed. Resolution 16 is to approve the following certificated staff as presenters for the Fall Staff Development Day. The terms and conditions include not to exceed 4 hours per person and the account number. These are folks that were not on the prior approval list. This is funded through Title II-A. Resolution 17 is to approve the following GTMS teachers for the after-school assistance program, which started in between board meetings effective October 8th through June 30th, not to exceed 25 hours per person. The hourly rate for teachers and assistants are listed. This is also funded through federal money, Title I. Resolution 18 is to approve the following teacher for supplemental instruction extension of the school day for the 2015-16 school year. The hourly rate and account are listed. This is IDEA money, and this is based on a student's IEP. Resolution 19 is to approve the following substitute staff for the fall 2015 semester of the Southern New Jersey Consortium for the Gifted and Talented. The hourly rate and account are listed. This is an enterprise account.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 3 through 19 inclusive under personnel, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any board discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 10, what is an educational interpreter job?
Probably what you would think of, the most common term is a sign language interpreter. That is to complement the program for the auditorily impaired students.
Okay, I wondered if it was divided into three. That's okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yeah.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Iannacone? Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you, and I would like to introduce our Director of Special Ed, Mrs. Jennifer Baldwin, to introduce our newest teacher.
Good evening, everyone. Within our district, we have students with special needs, as everyone knows. This year, we have started the school year with some students at our grand school who were in need of a teacher of the deaf and also sign language interpreter. As the year has progressed, we have actually increased our population in this area, and we really looked and always look in our school district to have those services occur here within the district within the spirit of least restrictive environment. So I'm really proud that tonight we were able to bring Scott on board in an expanded capacity to meet the needs of our auditory impaired students. And I'm also very pleased to introduce Paige Levy, who also is a teacher of the deaf. And Paige has been providing teacher of the deaf services to some of our children already this school year, and this approval is bringing her into our district and being able to expand those services to meet the needs of our students. And so that's, I will tell you from an accounting perspective, the work that we are doing to meet the needs of our auditory impaired students is exceptional. It's something that we are looking to expand and continue to meet those needs. And so I'm really excited to have Kate join us in these efforts to really expand everything that we can offer students of Galloway Township.
Welcome, Kate.
Did you come prepared with your speech?
Yes, but how is she going to sign it there?
Mr. Carmen? Yes, he did. But I'm short. Short, quick, short, thank you. Okay, policy, please.
We have no new policies this evening.
Notice of public meeting, please.
Yes, for the next 2 months, we only have one scheduled board meeting each month, November 23rd and December 21st. Special events, to give you an advanced preview, these are the dates for the winter concerts at all of the schools.
Thank you. Public comment, old business, new business, executive session, okay. So let's go around the board. And in honor of Mr. Carmen's last meeting, we will let him go first.
Well, I do have to say, it's been a pleasure to serve on the Galloway School Board. I think the work that's done here is remarkable. Everybody here has been very professional, very courteous, hardworking, dedicated, and it's been an honor to serve here for 3 years on this school board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Beverly, can you follow that?
Not really. I want to welcome you here with you. Present yourself well, and look forward to working with you, of course. And I'm very happy about the community garden continuing the foundation report. That's all.
And John?
Well, now, all of us behave at the meetings. I mean, one that does it usually, but congratulations on your service and thank you for your
Bob?
I do behave at the meetings.
I didn't say you did.
The misbehaving ones down there. Okay. Madeline?
I, at the last meeting
meeting neglected to say that I did go to the student council induction. Do you remember seeing me there? Thank you. Good answer. I was at the GTMS student council induction. I was impressed with the students, the teacher, the seriousness to which they took their charge as the leaders of GTMS, and it was a pleasure to be there.
Thank you. Rich?
Yes, welcome, Derwin, and I hope you enjoy our meeting. Come back again when you get a chance. Good luck in council. Dave, thank you very much. Good luck in the future, and hopefully we'll get to see you somewhere. And last, I'd like to say, I received this week a thing about the Smithville Veterans Day thing they'll be doing, inviting former veterans, current veterans, everybody to come and speak to the kids. I think that's wonderful, and that Dr. Carmen told me today that all schools do something the day before Veterans Day. And if she's going to pass on to me what they do. And I hope to be able to attend the Veterans Day ceremony at Smithville School. It's going to be very well. And I hope to go on. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike?
Welcome to Derwin, and good luck with your food drive. I'm sure if the past is any prediction, you guys will have a lot of food. And congratulations to the teachers. Put in a lot of hard work over at Mr. Reed's. It's great thing for the kids. That's all.
Thank you. Derwin, would you like to add anything now? Is your time? When we go around the board, you're allowed to speak.
Not really. It's kind of my first board meeting, so, it's kind of like all surreal. But it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of like more complex community council meeting. But yeah,
But you're organized though like this, correct?
definitely.
Very formal, only the president speaks at one time. Yes? Okay.
I mean, sometimes I might interject crazy, sometimes
Okay. But that's good, it's very formal, that's the way it's supposed to be. And has Mr. Roberts showed up with his rules yet? Did he ever show up at your meeting? No? Just teasing you, right? But that's good, I'm glad. Please go back to your council and tell them how informative this meeting was and how well behaved you were. And we do appreciate you coming, we appreciate, hello, Mom, we appreciate you bringing them out.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, it's very nice that you do come out, and I'm glad that you're allowed to participate in the student council. It's a very good endeavor, and thank Mrs. Avery for coming out and seeing you with the student council event. Great. Suzette?
I actually would like to ask Dr. Guido to distribute a list of the Veterans Day celebrations at the schools so that we can see you. You're going to distribute a
I will
list.
be doing that.
Okay, thank you.
A couple things. Dave, thank you for your years of service. We appreciate it. It's not as easy when you get on, and then you find out it's hours of chores and extra meetings and everything. So we do appreciate what you've given us, and the students appreciate it just as much, behind the scenes work. Mr. B's, thank you. All I can do is thank you. I've been there several times. You guys put your heart and soul into that. We very much appreciate it. I'm glad you were recognized. I really, really am. It's a great accomplishment. One of my favorite holidays is coming up, Veterans Day, and we'll be noting that. For the board members, the next 3 days is the convention. If you need credits, if you need your classes, now's the time to get them, and please attend. I believe we have a closed session item tonight, student matters. Mr. Puccio, is that correct? Okay. Is there any members of the public that need to be heard before this Board of Education? Please come forward, state your name if you're a Galloway resident.
All right, my name is Heidi Greb. I am a Galloway resident, and I'm here on behalf of New Day Family Success Center. I just wanted to let the public know that we are starting on November 3rd, a 6-week poetry writing class. It'll be once a week, and the Stockton students are actually coming out to teach it as part of credit for one of their classes. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 7 and 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, at this public meeting of the Galloway Township Board of Education, the subject matter is to be discussed in a section of the board closed to the public. Student matters. It is presently anticipated that items mentioned in this resolution can and will be disclosed to the public as soon as possible according to circumstances. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution as read? All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.